Benzar Guru Bhimasi Dihum Om Ahum Benzar Guru Bhimasi Dihum Om Ahum Benzar Guru Bhimasi Dihum Orjan Yojinu. Pardon me. Orjan Yojinu Jam Sampe Mage Sardong Pola Yatsen Shoginu Drup Yajung Neje Sudrak Kordu Kandrauma Poko Keki Jesu Dakrugi Jinji Lapchir Shak Suso Guru Pema Siri Hong Orjan Yojin Nup Jam Sam Pemage Sardong Pura Yatsen Shogin Nung Drup Ye Pemajang Neje Sudra Kodu Kadromak Boko Keki Jesu Dak Drugi Jinji Lapchir Shek Suso Guru Pengma Siri Hum Om Ahum Benzar Guru Pema 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 Siri Hum. Om Ahum, Om Ahum, Om Ahum, Om Ahum, Om Ahum, Benzar Guru Pema Siri Hum. Body, speech, and mind. Body, speech, and mind. My actions, my words, my thoughts. Turning towards those with wisdom and compassion, those thoughts, that speech, those actions that are filled with compassion and wisdom. Turn us toward the examples of ourselves and others that inspire us to act and live skillfully through wisdom and compassion. That's what that means to me, and helping me to recognize the embodiment of those qualities that are available in each and every one of us. We're all Buddhas. We are all Buddhas. We are all awakened ones. Sometimes we're awake and sometimes we're asleep. It's important to remember that, because we often, through our conditioning, go down a bunny trail. Takes us to a place of unskillfulness, and that's usually just unconscious action. So to judge ourselves on that unconscious action harshly is not super productive. We can look at it as, a moment of awakened awareness. I can understand, I got lost and unskillful because I wasn't really attentive and aware. So then we go back to our posture. We go back to our posture and our vantage point of awakened awareness. It's where we begin again, reminded by our own actions, our own reactions, that we were asleep. So wake up. Wake up. This is the moment to wake up, not later. Waking up is not just for mornings. It's for every single moment. So we're really reconditioning ourselves. So when stimulus happens, that our response is skillful and product of our awakened awareness. When we see the reaction, oh, that's a reaction, and I'm reacting in that way, I can act skillfully. For example, if I have a reaction that is agitation, irritation, I don't like that. Immediately, I'm going to fire into a response of, this is me doing agitation. This is me pissed off. This is me irritated. And there's just, you know the drill. What happens when we push that button? We push that button and we just autopilot right to the next moment of, now I'm screaming, now I'm yelling, now I'm throwing things, or whatever, whatever your mojo is. That's all unconscious. So when we can insert our awakened awareness, when we see the response happening and say, oh, that's me reacting to something that feels uncomfortable or feels like I don't want it due to my attachment to things that I want and my aversion to things I don't want. I'm now having a reaction that's very human and very normal, very natural. But when I can put that little button of my awakened attention right here, then I can decide not to respond with autopilot. And that unconscious response and behavior that comes from my auto conditioning. So we're reconditioning. So that's part of what we do when we just sit still like this. And I forgot to mention, if this is your first time, don't be scared. We're really doing natural awareness, and that's it. We don't have to try to embody natural awareness. We all have the ability to do it. We just have to remember how to be attentive and awake right here and right now. So don't get too lost in if I'm saying things that seem like a lot of remodeling of your ideals. So we suffer due to our attachments. I'll argue that forever, because it's true. Our attachments is what makes us suffer. Things that we don't want or things that we do want, and the things that we have, we want to hold on to. We don't like change. Our human side does not like change, whether we can say, oh, I love change. I used to say that a lot. I don't love change. if 2020 has taught me anything, it's that I don't really love change. I love reconditioning things and reestablishing my own grounding. That feels good. But for things to continually change and put me in a state of discomfort, I don't like that. So I respond. My body responds. My mind responds. My speech responds. So I have to practice. And this is a daily practice for me where I sit in a silent container, or a container of stillness is probably a better description, where I'm sitting in this room. If anybody else is here, I close the door. If I think Aurora, my dog, is going to go on a barking fit, I often close the door. Sometimes I'll leave it open and she can come hang out with me and sit with me, which she likes to do, but then she barks. So I try to minimize the noise. I try to minimize the external stimulation so that I can learn to remember how to. I'm going to stop saying learning, because we're not learning to stay still. We are remembering how to stay still. And just sit still, and that doesn't mean like I have a little rock in my meditation, and sometimes that's just unconscious, so I just let it go. I just let it go. Part of that's due to back pain for me. I have some inherently stiff back, so if I sit too still and I'm not super relaxed, then it gets painful, and that becomes my meditation, is pain. So sometimes I just get a little movement, but I digress. Stillness is what we're cultivating. So letting sort of it's like the snow globe, when we shake it, all the stuff is all over and we can't see clearly. When we stop shaking it, and all that stuff, thoughts, feelings, sensations, emotions, when those things can just settle, then we're not so stimulated and we're not so clouded by following them, seeing them, trying to diagnose them or fix them. But instead take a vantage point of watching. So I like to say that there is a state of our attention that allows us to sit back in an unfazed, unaffected posture where we can see things as they are. And meaning specifically, we can see thoughts, feelings, emotions, and sensations as reactions to our human body. So when we can see that, that's anger, that's tired, that's intrigue, and I want to go explore, whatever that is. So you can let that just settle. Watch things arise and settle. Not so close. Over there. Yeah. So we do that. So as we sit, there's a couple important things. Posture. Posture is one. Breath is very important. And what I specifically mean about this is I mean diaphragmatic breathing. So we're breathing with the diaphragm. We're not breathing up here in the chest. We're breathing with the diaphragm. And what that specifically means is the in-breath means that the belly moves out. Often we're breathing backwards. So when we can relearn to breathe like when we were babies, which is diaphragmatic, then we are adding an element to our body that is self-controlling and self-soothing and is doing a whole host of benefits for our bodies. So again, breathing through the nose. I like to say nose is for breathing and mouth is for eating. So breathing through the nose, belly's moving out. And when we release, we're just letting go and relaxing. So that diaphragm is then coming back up. Yeah. So body, speech, and mind, thinking, posturing, breathing, and we're going to begin. So I'm going to mark the beginning of our session where nothing else needs to be done but be here. Drop your attention right in front of you, right here, and keep it here. Breathing in through the nose, belly's moving out. You can just hold that for just a second and feel the sensation of the expansion of the belly and the lungs. Try to just breathe through your nose right now. And if it's constricted, slow down and be patient. Breathing in, breathing out. Let the CO2 do its work and dilate your nasal passages. Focusing on your in-breath. Relaxing and releasing on your out-breath. I want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose to the count of 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 3, 2, 1. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 3, 2, 1. Keep doing that. Letting everything just come and go. Let go of the task list. Relax your shoulders, your neck, your back, your arms, your hands, your face, your tongue, your jaw. We're just sitting and breathing. Letting everything settle. How was that? Is that easy? Hard? I would encourage you not to look for or try to create profound experiences during your meditation time. In fact, it's through the seeing the mundane as it is that we can see the complex for what it is. So it's important to just sit with what's basic and what's even mundane, the breath. Yesterday, I encouraged you to, find some attentive awareness in brushing your teeth or eating or walking. I would like you to find some attentive awareness with your breath. And practice that diaphragmatic breath, because I can't tell you how many people I know, and it's easy for me to see leading meditation to a group when we're all in the same room. The breath and the sort of opposite breath that is probably helping to stimulate anxiety. So we need to cultivate that good breath, that diaphragmatic breath. So practice that. And specifically, I mean breathing through your nose, easily in, easily out, counting into 4, counting out to 4. And just do that for a little while. Whether you're sitting in meditation or you're just sitting or walking, just breathing in and breathing out. I find it helpful to rest the tip of my tongue right on the back of my teeth where it meets the top of my mouth. Not pushing, just resting and releasing the jaw as well, so you're not tight, and helps to open up when you drop the jaw down, helps to open up a bit of that. And I know it's kind of allergy season for some of us, so it can feel a little constrained, but I encourage you to sit, and as you patiently breathe through your nose, it will open up. Yeah. Important posture is up, where spine is straight so that the lungs can do what they need to do. They have the space, sort of like a shirt on a hanger that, if you crimp it, it's like that. And so, there's only so much straight at the top. Everything's crunched up at the bottom. Our lungs are a lot the same like that. And there's so much in the bottom of the lungs that help to exchange the CO2 and oxygen that we need to sit upright so that the air can move all the way down. And, focus again with that in-breath that the belly moves out. And then with the out-breath, you just relax and it sort of pushes out the air. You don't have to force it. Yeah? So I'd love you to try that and just maybe spend the rest of the day doing that. Even as you're trying to go to sleep tonight, just focusing on your breath. Sometimes we can just quickly recondition ourselves to that diaphragmatic breath that we're born with. Our babies all breathe like that too. And if you watch your dog or your cat, they breathe in their belly too. It's how it's meant to work. But somehow or other, we get it squirreled around, as my mother would say. All right. That's all I have for today. I'll be back tomorrow. Practice your breath. Practice your attentiveness. Attention. It's where the rubber meets the road. You must be present to win. I'll see you tomorrow back here at 2:30.